Hello everybody. Hello and welcome to the Real Tea. And no, I'm not sitting at the desk, and no, I'm not interviewing. But guess what? This is Cooking with Trees. You guys know I love to cook. And on the chopping block today, I have green peppers, red peppers, onions. I also have cured turkey bacon, as well as turkey sausage. And guess what? We also got da-da shrimp. Yes, so we're going to be cooking shrimp and grits, um, the real tea style. So here we go. Now for this recipe, as far as seasonings are concerned, you're going to need some Slap Your Mama. You're going to need some Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning, some Italian seasoning, some garlic, fine garlic, also some Old Bay, as well as parsley flakes, dry ones. Um, of course, you're going to need grits, but that's later on down the line, and vegetable oil. Also, chicken broth. Yes. Now, what I did was I browned some flour, and this is going to be the root or the base of everything. So, here we go. So the first thing you want to do is bring your skillet to a medium-high heat. And I'll turn it around to the skillet so you can see exactly what's happening here. So yeah, so you're gonna turn it to a medium-high heat. And what I do is I just coat the skillet. I just coat the skillet with like 2 capsules of vegetable oil. And let that get real, let that get hot, and then we're gonna start depositing the things onto the skillet. I'm always keep some hot water boiling in my kettle, and that is whenever you're cooking, and then you need to add water to something for any reason, it's always best for it to be hot, where it doesn't change the texture of what you're cooking. So yeah. So that vegetable oil is already getting itself together. And this is the base of our shrimp and grits. So here we go. So the first thing that I'm going to put in here is going to be our green pepper and onion. And so it's kind of like cooking gumbo in a sense, but we'll brown all these vegetables, and they smell good already. Oh my God, they do. They smell good already, and they haven't even reached the pot yet. Also, I'm cooking for myself and my husband. So I'm gonna go ahead and brown these vegetables. I just want to kind of give you a look at what that looks like, and we'll be back in 1 second. So we are back. We are back. And just browning our veggies, just getting them to cook to al dente. And then what I do is I just put it to the side here, and I'm going to add in the turkey bacon. This is cured turkey bacon, as a matter of fact. And I know you're probably like, she was cooking shrimp and grits. What is she doing? Well, what I'm doing is cooking them real tea style. So as you can see, all of the flavors and things of that nature, I want them to all get to kind of soak in the flavors. So again, we got red pepper, we got onion, and we also have green pepper. Yeah, so we're gonna let this cook. We're gonna let this cook for a few moments until it gets brown, and believe me, it will. And we're going to be back. Now, while we're gonna allow this to cook for a while, and while this is cooking, we're gonna start on our grits. And this is a really wonderful part. I'm going to cover this and allow it to cook. And we'll start on our grits. All right, so now we're gonna start on our grits. And I'm gonna use chicken broth to cook the grits in. This is about 1.5 cups. I don't know if you know, but grits grow in water. So yeah, and these grits will be super tasty because I cooked them with chicken broth instead of water. So we will allow us to cook. Everything smells so very good. And we're gonna check on our sausage and bacon, and everything is getting some color to it, getting a little melon into it. So that's good. We can continue to allow that to cook. Usually, it'll probably cook about 10 or 15 minutes at the most, but you do have to continue to stir it. You want it coated with the vegetable oil, and that just ensures that it doesn't burn while you're cooking it. So everything is smelling extremely good. And I just like to use my chopping board for some reason to cover my pot, just so, I don't know. So this is the part where when it starts to get like where you're able to see the vegetables, they still have really good color, but they're softening. Okay, so now this is where you add your seasoning, and I typically don't even measure because it just depends on your taste. I like a little spice, so I just kind of cover each time, and that's Slap Your Mama. Slap Your Mama makes anything taste good. I'm gonna use a little Tony Chachere's. Oh my God, that smells so good already. A little bit of garlic, and you're just trying to cover it with it. And I haven't even moved my spatula. That's the old time. That's the old folk girl in me. A little bit of Italian seasoning. Italian seasoning, I'm not so heavy with it. But you can put, that to your liking as well. It just gives everything a really good flavor. So I put like a half of teaspoon in it, and just a little bit of parsley. A lot of people put a lot of parsley in their food. I have no idea why, but I put a little in there. Parsley gives it a really good taste. So now, when you start to see everything getting, out of the color, you can push it to this side, push it to the side of the skillet like this, like so. And then, you're going to add in your shrimp. And this is the part where I add Old Bay to it as well. And FYI, if your shrimp are pink, when you get them out of the freezer, they are already cooked. So I'll do another video with how you can make shrimp and grits with those. But yeah, those are already cooked shrimp. That's just the FYI going forward, so you do know. So, because by the time, it doesn't take shrimp long to cook. On top of my shrimp, I always put Old Bay. And I do the same thing. Just cover it a little bit with the Old Bay. Shrimp don't take long to cook. So, and you can tell whether a shrimp is done cooking on direct heat for sure. Just by its color. These I don't let get completely done before I kind of mix them in with the rest of the mixture. So now I'm just gonna kind of cover them up with the seasoning, like so. Oh, everything smells so delicious. It really does. It really does. Now, I brown flour earlier, and before you do this part, you definitely want to coat it with like all the seasonings that you had or whatever, and then you can again use the push to the side technique. We can push it to the side, and I want you to kind of get an up close look at this before I do that. Let me show you here. So this is what you should have here. Did you find them, Tracy? Oh.
Yeah. No, I haven't talked to myself. I don't record. You want to give a damn about that shit?
Yeah, you holler, Jay. I said, oh Lord. I just successfully recorded how to cook shrimp. I agree. I want to make some homemade biscuits since you talked about my biscuits real bad. Can you put some water in the refrigerator?
Don't you see me trying to get some water? I put something in there. Don't see me doing something, ask me to do something else. That shit irritates the hell out of me.
You is one irritated ass
I am.
dude.
You see me doing
I just
something?
was talking to Brenda earlier. We was talking and I told her, I said, you know, I have never in my motherfucking life met nobody as moody as Tracy. Your ass moody as hell. You moody all the time. You frowning all the time. You frowning right now. Frowned up all the time.
And sometimes when she need to ask the reason why you frying.
No, that's just what you do. You mad all the goddamn time.
I'm mad. I'm a very happy person.
You're mad all the time.
I'm a very happy person.
No, you're not.
You need to ask why he mad all the time. Why his face frown up all the time.
It's showing because I asked you to put water in the refrigerator.
No, but you asked me something and you see me doing something and ask me something at the same time.
So you know I didn't mean for you to do it.
I know you didn't mean.
You're just moody.
I know you didn't mean to do it, but just for going
why
forward.
Why are you so evil?
When I'm going forward, I do one thing at a time.
But can you tell me something? Why are you so evil and moody?
I'm not evil. You motherfucking evil.
No, I'm not evil. And you moody.
All the time. That ain't right.
That's moody.
No, don't say that I'm evil because I'm not.
Mean, surly, and always mad.
I ain't always mad.
Shit.
I get mad at certain shit.
So you mad all the time?
I get mad at
even if I give you a comment, even if I give you a say, baby, you look so handsome. Stop blowing smoke up my ass.
I get mad at bullshit.
No, you just mad all the
That's
time.
That's what I do.
You mad all the time?
You call me swamp. I know what I get. I know.
What? You know what could have circumvented that? All you had to say was, okay, baby, I'll do it as soon as I get done with this.
Oh, no.
No, that's make you a sucker ass nigga, right? You ain't that type of nigga. You'll be a sucker ass nigga just to answer your wife like that.
No,
Instead, you want to tell her off and tell her how to talk and all that.
But I'm quite sure the same way that the wife asked that question, she seen there wasn't no damn water in their nigga. And she ain't handicapped.
See what I'm saying?
That's
I've been cleaning all motherfucking day long.
But put water in there ain't no damn job.
You think you're not supposed to do nothing but just go to work. That's it. If somebody asks you to do something, there's a problem.
You keep saying that.
It's the truth.
That's your talking point?
It is.
That with me, that's your talking point. He don't do nothing but just go to work. That's your talking point.
And go to sleep.
That's your talking point. Is that your talking point towards
Tracy,
me?
I'm done with it. I'm done. No, I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to nobody else. I'm done talking to you, though, because every time I talk to you, there's a problem. There is a problem. You ain't home with me all week, and the day you is, we definitely gonna have a fucking argument. We gonna have one. Because that's what you do. Just grouchy. All the goddamn time. Never seen no shit like that. All right, we're back. And now what we're going to be doing is adding grits into the chicken broth mixture. And I just add them a little at a time. This is creamy grits and shrimp. Okay. before I moved to South Carolina, I never really cared for grits and shrimp. I never even thought to put the two together. Um, but it is a thing in South Carolina. My daughter cooked it for me. And then I started with my own rendition of shrimp and grits. And I'm telling you, this is oh my gosh, it's a wonderful recipe. And so what I do is make sure there is no lumps in my grits. I put a fourth pat of butter in it, and I just put those in there, and that's just to also ensure that the grits don't stick to the pots. These are really good McCook pots, but sometimes stuff still sticks to them. So to circumvent that, I just go ahead and put a little butter in there, and that eliminates that issue. Now the whole time I've had water over here boiling, and I'm gonna cut these down just a little bit, just a little bit. But this is how I accomplish my grits. I'm gonna add a little hot water already boiling to the pot. Grits is something that you can tell by the texture what type of grits you're gonna have. Well, this will just determine the type. I like the 5-minute grits. And again, they grow in water, so you can know just about how many grits you want by the time you've added water. So you add the water, you stir. You add the water, you stir. And I'm gonna cut this back on y'all. But you add the water, you stir. You add the water, you stir. Add water, stir. Add water, stir. And that's how it goes. And these are looking so good. If you see a little lump, you want to go ahead and break that up so that it gets to cook evenly. That's how you know it's more grits in the pot than you might have. And they just continue to grow. It's amazing, but they do. Yeah, it's amazing, but they do. So I think I've gotten to the consistency that I want, so I'm able to let them cook down some. And then we're gonna add in our sour cream. I add in sour cream to my grits. Sour cream gives grits a really, really creamy texture. I'm telling you, one of my ladies that I used to work with, she made me shrimp and grits one day. She's also from South Carolina. And she made the shrimp and grits, and her grits were so creamy, I couldn't believe it. So I had to ask her what was her secret ingredient. She wouldn't tell me. So I just kind of kept messing around and figuring, what could change the texture. I'll cover these up as well. But what could change the texture of the grits? And I eventually came up with sour cream. Some people use cheese. I am going to use cheese in these as well. But sour cream and cheese will be my last ingredient. So yes, you guys, yes. So we'll be back shortly. Alright y'all, so my grits have cooked to its consistency that I usually like. It's pretty thick, but they're also very, very creamy and good. You should be able to go through them. You should be able to find absolutely no lumps in the grits. And so what I do is I just take some sour cream and I put in, I want to say that's 1 tablespoon. And remember, a little bit goes a long way. So 1 tablespoon will go in the grits, and boy, it just changes up the game. It changes up the taste. It further, It further flavors the grits. And then I'm gonna come in with my cheese now. This is Kraft Colby Jack cheese, and I use it in my grits. And again, this is the part that you're not able to really measure. I would say about a half a cup of grits. Cheese. I'm sorry. And you go in. And the cheese also continues to help the grits to have great consistency. I'm gonna plate this. I'm gonna plate this, you guys. I'm gonna plate this, taste it for you, and we're gonna see what happened. Woo! Shrimp and grits, realty style. All right, you guys, and this is the finished product, shrimp and grits, ladies and gentlemen, accompanied by a little Stella Rose. And you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and taste this for you. Taste it for you. Sit down at the table. And merciful Father, we thank you so much for this food we're about to receive, and I'm gonna go ahead and taste it and see. Oh my God. Let me see. Oh my God. I got to do that again. Oh my God, y'all. Oh my goodness. Let me try again. Y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy my dinner. And I will come back to y'all with another video. If this is the first time on my channel, please like, share, subscribe. And this is your girl Contrice from Cooking with Trees. Bye bye. Love, peace, and happiness. And let's see.